The Supreme Court is hearing arguments in a major gun rights case today on whether or not the government can prevent domestic abusers from owning a gun. The court will likely decide the constitutionality of a federal law that has been in place since 1994. It prevents people under domestic violence protective orders from owning a firearm. Research shows that a victim or survivor of domestic violence is 5 times more likely to die when an abusive partner has access to a gun. So Jan Crawford is covering this case for us, and she's just outside the courthouse. So this is kind of interesting because this is one case, but there have been a lot of cases coming up that have to do with gun laws, challenging the way we restrict some people from accessing gun laws. So what can we expect to hear from today's arguments?
Well, I mean, I think at the outset, there's pretty wide agreement that people who are convicted of domestic violence should not be having guns, right? So the question is, what does the government have to prove to try to take those guns away? And today, I think in court, you're going to hear the justices try to really kind of continue to analyze how they need to be evaluating these gun laws. Of course, this is all coming in the wake of a case last year where the court issued some guidance for the lower courts on how they look at gun laws, which now the Supreme Court has said you have a Second Amendment right to keep and bear arms. So what kind of restrictions can the government pass, the legislatures in Congress? Today, of course, a lower court, a federal appeals court, said that this federal law that would basically prohibit people under domestic violence orders from holding guns, the appeals court said that was unconstitutional. There's no history for that, that would violate the Second Amendment because the person hadn't even been convicted or indicted or other things that would have allowed that law to go into effect and against him.
So Jan, the question is, why is the constitutionality of this law being tested at this moment?
Yeah, I mean, and that's a great question, right? Because this all started last year when the court in a case said that any of these gun regulations, the lower courts have to kind of look at them when they're trying to evaluate if they're constitutional or not. They've got to kind of look at the past and see if there was like an historical analog, some kind of past practice, similar gun laws throughout history. Well, when the appeals court did that, followed those instructions in this case, it said there was no real history of laws preventing people under domestic violence restraining orders from having guns. It wasn't done 100 years ago, 200 years ago, and there weren't really any ways that they could work it in. They couldn't really say that the guy was dangerous, which would have prohibited him from having a gun, because that wasn't a finding as part of that domestic violence restraining order, the way that law was written. So, that's kind of what they're looking at. They started this last year with this decision in 2021 when they handed down this framework, and now they're having to fine tune it. And it's going to affect other gun laws too, whatever they do in this case. It's not just about domestic violence restraining orders.
All right, Jan Crawford for us at the Supreme Court. Jan, thank you very much.